yeah, ooh, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
The world's just changed so radically, and we're all running to catch up. How can we possibly have the slightest idea of what to expect? The best intentions. Some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
Dr. Malcolm, here to share a few campfire stories with my uncle.
You can convince the Washington Post and the Skeptical Inquirer of whatever you want. But I was there, I know what happened, and so do you.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Hello and welcome to the Jurassic Minutes podcast, where we discuss recent movie, toy and franchise news for the Jurassic series. I'm Brad.
I'm Dave.
And today we're here to discuss some news for August. A second chance to get the Mattel Hammond, more Jurassic media on the way, and the next wave of LEGO sets are hitting the shelves. All that and a couple more stories coming up. Alright, our first news story to hit the papers today is the LEGO sets. The new... What is this called again? Legend of ISLA NUBLAR is the second LEGO series. No, it's the third.
It is going to be I think a LEGO series. Where is it going to be? On Netflix, I think.
Yeah, yep. Much like the Indominus Escape and that we've had before. It's going to be a little mini series, and here's the LEGO sets to sort of link in with that as well. Now, article here saying they've been hitting stores now. I'm guessing in the US. We've had them here for about a month already, and
I know.
As much as I'd love to get them all, I can't justify the price on seemingly smaller sets than even what we got in Fallen Kingdom.
Same. Yeah, I haven't been on a toy hunt in a while here, just because I've been really waiting for the reset to really set in before I make my way out to Target or Walmart.
Yep. So yeah, wait until the Christmas sales, and maybe I'll be able to get a couple of these sets and add them to me Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom collections that I've got going here.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, David, we've talked at length, and even when Jay was on, we talked at length as well about the Legacy Hammond figure being at SDCC exclusive, and how it was going to cost a lot to get there and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Then later on, it appeared, and it's still on eBay in places for all sorts of prices. David, you reached out and you got one, and I've seen some photos. You've got yours in your hand now.
Yeah, I do. I broke down and actually got one. It wasn't too painful, but I mean, then we actually got some interesting news from Entertainment Earth, who actually came out with the set, or not the set, but the actual exclusive.
I wonder if Mattel just had a heap left over after the convention and said, "Here."
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I was thinking there probably a lot of overstock left over, and Mattel just dumped it on Entertainment Earth, and I'm sure fans were more than happy about that because they had it up for pre-order for almost 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, at the time of recording, it's no longer available, and I tried to get on it a couple of days ago, and after remembering, and it had already sold out. But it went up, on Entertainment Earth's website for just $25.
Yeah. Sadly, not as low as I paid for it. I mean, sadly lower than what I paid for it. But I mean, like we discussed with Jay, it was worth it. You know.
Yeah, and just read the news article here from Jurassic Outpost. It was a Mattel made more than they could get to the event, so that's why these ones are left over. It's not from lack of selling them on the day. If you got over to Entertainment Earth, I'm pretty sure I posted links up in the Facebook page as well when I first learned about it, and hopefully those that wanted the figure got over there and got it, except for me. Up next, Colin TREVORROW has been talking again, and he's hinted at sequels after Jurassic World 3, or that sequels after Jurassic Park 3 aren't out of the question, and has also talked a little bit about Battle at Big Rock, which we learnt a few months ago when there was rumours going around that filming had happened in January and February in Ireland, and it was sort of scoffed at the time because it's way too early for Jurassic World 3 to be filming and all that, when it's possible they're filming the Battle at Big Rock stuff, which is believed to be a pilot, a one-off pilot for a live-action TV show. Whether it gets picked up or not, that's another story, but we might have our first TV series.
That would be very exciting. Unfortunately, Battle of Big Rock at the moment seems to be a bit MIA. I know that Clayton Fioretti, I'm sorry if I butchered that.
Oh, you're doing a better job than I would have. I always thought Fury, like Fury 16 from That's no.
But anyway, apparently he went to go see Hobbs and Shaw, and the movie was not in front, or Battle of Big Rock was not in front of Hobbs and Shaw, so we don't know when it's going to be released or where. And frankly, I think fans are really kind of not just, well, yeah, they are. I'm sure they're disappointed, but I think they're also feeling very kind of confused because there's been absolutely no rumbling about this movie from either Universal or Trevorrow or anybody connected to it. And basically all we have to go on it right now is these toys.
Yeah, it's been delayed for some reason.
Delayed, or it just didn't come out when we're thinking it was. I believe the Battle of Big Rock being attached to Hobbs and Shaw was actually just a rumor and not actually ever confirmed.
Well, yeah, there was a couple of rumours floating off that news story, one including Jurassic World 3 was going to be a two-parter, which, please don't.
We have enough of those.
Yeah, it's interesting that the two dinosaur box art packagings that we got later, or got it back in May, had the as seen in the Battle of Big Rock logo and lettering on it, and that was a it's a recolor of the Allosaurus we've had with the Fallen Kingdom line.
Actually, no, that was a new sculpt.
Oh, okay.
There was an entirely new sculpt, which is interesting because the sculpt that we got with the Fallen Kingdom line looked like the Fallen Kingdom Allosaurus, which, as Jay has expressed, he has no love lost for it. But this one seems to be more based on, like, I think the Big Al specimen, which is bigger, has like more ornamentation and all that.
Yeah, and there's a Ceratopsy in there as well, which is coming out, which is always good to get more of them on screen. So
yeah, it was a Nasu Ceratops, I believe it was called.
Thank you. I was not going to try.
Or no, Nasuto Ceratops. I'm sorry.
Okay. And yeah, the other thing that was discussed as well, of course, was Jurassic World 3 and whether or not it'll be the end of the saga. And he's quoted as wanting to take it one movie at a time. So I'm pretty much that's going to say if this thing makes $1 billion like the other two have, then yes, of course, there's going to be more.
Oh yeah. Well, this is also, I believe, Universal's biggest franchise, even more so than Fast and Furious. So of course, I think it's definitely going. We have not seen the last of Jurassic at the end of the next movie.
No, and we've got Camp Cretaceous coming. Whatever this Battle at Big Rock is coming as well. There's a lot more sort of side stories in that coming for the Jurassic series now. Whether or not films, what the Jurassic World looks like post Jurassic World 3 is going to be another thing too. We haven't seen that film yet.
Oh yeah, really. Become a Jurassic Universe.
Yeah.
Raptors of the Galaxy.
Well, I got seen a Facebook post from someone talking about Hobbs and Shaw and why haven't you gone to space yet, and the director sort of hinting it's not a possibility or something. So,
oh God, please no.
Yeah.
No raptors in space.
No, it was enjoyable enough in the Lego Movie too. That's where it should stop. But interesting, Jurassic Outpost did run a poll on Twitter asking fans which way what they wanted to see, and 40% said prequels. So
yeah,
take that's a grain of salt.
Still, I mean, I do agree that prequels would be amazing. I mean, I know that it didn't work really for Star Wars, but I think there's a lot of material there. I mean, there's Hammond forming and breaking his partnership with Lockwood. Then there's the establishment of Isla Sorna, the building of the park. I mean, there's a lot of material to work with. Yeah. I can imagine the ending, or maybe the big climax of the second movie, or even the first movie, is seeing that Triceratops finally or what was that, Triceratops or a raptor? Because I think they did change it on the website. Which one was the very first dinosaur?
I seen Triceratops the other day, but for me it will always be raptor.
Yeah, well, seeing that very first dinosaur poking its head out of the egg, and just Lockwood and Hammond sitting there staring in amazement at what they just done, you know?
And it's sort of another thing to look at too, and you being a Star Wars fan, it'd be good to get your opinion on as well. Recasting for prequels or sequels, not trying to do the CG or old age makeup, then fine, or de-aging if you can pull it off. But I've heard a lot of Star Wars fans actually saying for Episode 9, just recast Leia. Don't try and CG. Don't do any of that. Just recast her. And
I've heard what I believe they're doing with that, though, is they're going to be using a leftover footage from the last two movies. And that's how they're going to do that. They already said they will not CGI Leia, and I think from what I've heard from fans, they are rather against the idea of recasting her. They think that Carrie Fisher was Leia, and Carrie Fisher should remain Leia. You know?
Yeah. And that's sort of coming back to Jurassic. I would not be against having someone recast as a younger John Hammond. Mm-hmm. Or even any of the characters, because if you're gonna go prequel, you're either going in the gap between Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World, or you're going pre-Jurassic Park. I don't think they'd do anything between Park and Lost World, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all wild speculation. They might not even have it in this plan, but you could do a younger Alan and Ellie back when they first meet Hammond, and explore more of the stuff from the novels where they're being pestered by InGen and Hammond and Gennaro about what to feed the animals and all that sort of stuff.
Now, I mean, we can possibly even do a whole show on this. Is just our thoughts on what they could do with a prequel series. But I mean, just on Hammond alone, I remember people on Jurassic Park Legacy asking, "Oh, if they did a prequel, who would you cast for whom?" And I remember saying for Hammond, I would choose Tom Felton, just because the shape of his face has a very, very close facsimile of a young Richard Attenborough.
I'd have to go through some actors' profile or photos and that to pull out a name yourself.
Oh, undoubtedly. I remember. I think I had Chin Han as Wu, but I think he might be a bit older now for the role. I don't know.
Yeah. One thing's for sure, with all the memes out there and the photos of people spotting Hammonds out there, I don't think it'd be a very hard character to pull off. Get those. It's not a hard sort of getting the mannerisms and that down of Attenborough, but young Muldoon, that might be a little bit harder.
Oh yeah, I can't remember who I had for young Muldoon, but yeah, this is definitely something we should consider doing as a prequel show or something.
Yeah.
Maybe see if we can get Jay back on.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, with post Jurassic World 3, we don't really know what's happened with the Christian estate and the rights for the franchise. I'd heard that the whole reason this is being all branded, all the toys and everything's being rebranded Jurassic World, is to get around that Jurassic Park rights thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that same speculation going around that they basically rebranded it so that they can get around the whole rights issue with the Crichton estate, but then at the same time, I can easily see the Crichton estate just signing the check. Yep. Go ahead, do whatever you want. You know, I mean, because again, this is a big money franchise, and I'm sure the Crichton estate sees a part of that profit. You know.
Yeah, that's it. If Universal, as you were saying before, their biggest franchise or series, if it'd be stupid if there's an executive saying, "No, we're not going to pay you $4 million for this," or it'd be a lot more than that. But trying to lowball them or be a cheapskate on it, they'd be paying exactly what the estate wants. Mm-hmm. But on the other side of things too, we've now lost, or supposedly lost, Sauna. NUBLAR's gone. We've still got the characters returning, which yes might be their final send out, but that's a Crichton thing, and so's InGen, and Doctor Wu. So if they're going to continue after Jurassic World 3 and do their own thing under their own steam and not be involved with the estate, then all those things are going to have to come to an end. And maybe even including Rexy too. Or they retcon, oh no, she was never the one from Jurassic Park, we just said it was.
I mean, she's got the scars. I don't know how they'd be able to fake that unless they just stuck a Dremel to her, you know?
We don't have enough fingers and toes to go through the amount of stuff they've changed to make plot work, so and we've brought it all up before.
True.
Up next, we got some new production news from Jurassic World 3. Kevin Jenkins is joining the team as a production designer. Now, that would have been fantastic if it was Todd Marks, because would have an in to some of the stuff there. But he's done some great work on the Harry Potter, Goblet of Fire, Golden Compass, Warhorse, World War Z, and Guardians of the Galaxy. And he's also done work on The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and the upcoming Last Jedi, which, for what the new Star Wars films are, I do reckon they look fantastic. Plot aside,
I'd have to say more the Force Awakens was more generic, but I really liked the look of The Last Jedi, and I thought that was really good. I know that Goblet of Fire was one of my visual favorites of the the newer post Chris Columbus Harry Potter movies from when I was a kid. I used to watch that one religiously, so that one I really liked, and Warhorse I really liked. So he does have some good films on his resume. I was checking them out on IMDb, and so I would still prefer if Bayona returned, but I mean, he's not bad. Hopefully he's better than Jason. What was that, Schwartzman or something? He's on the first movie. So we probably won't be in for a visual treat quite like Fallen Kingdom was, but we should be still in for a treat. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and it all depends on what locations that we're going to in this new film, whether it's desert or wherever. But he's coming on board to join the team, which has been headed by Rick Carter, which we all know from the Jurassic franchise. He's done some great work from all the way back to Jurassic Park up until now. So. Up next, Lego Jurassic World: Legend of Isla Nublar. The animated series has been announced to come out and be airing on Nickelodeon. We still don't have a release date, I don't think, looking at this article.
Not that I've seen, no.
No. But it's just interesting that on Nickelodeon, I don't know how I'd be able to see that here over here. Do you have Nickelodeon? Is it one of the cable channels over there, or do you have free access to it?
Yeah, that's one of the basic cable channels along with Cartoon Network that we get here in the States. So even if I couldn't, I'd still have ulterior means of getting a hold of this if I really, really wanted to see it, you know?
Yeah.
It looks fun. I think from the Lego series, from what we've seen with like that Mechno Ford Explorer and all that stuff that we saw, it's going to continue that that 1 hour special that we got on NBC.
Yeah, and yesterday I caved in and I put the Mecha T-Rex battle set, the Baryonyx set, and the Triceratops set all on lay-by yesterday, so I caved and paid full price for it too. So I'll be getting all that Lego in my hands for Christmas. Up next, Mattel have released a new outlook on where their 2020 toy line is going to be, and we're getting Primal Attack.
This is a new toy line that they're coming out for 2020. It's going to have, presumably, this is on the Collect Jurassic website, and they've got the sound strike, so it's going to be some new electronic dinosaurs and some massive biters, which it looks like it's going to be their new press the button and the stuff does. And then they're going to have some Control and Conquer. And the Carnotaurus was shown off at San Diego Comic-Con, and so that's going to be. Presumably, believe there's going to be more. But with the massive biters, we previously on this podcast speculated that the crocodilian that was shown in silhouette was going to be either Sarcosuchus or Deinonychus. I'm sorry, Deinosuchus. And it turns out it's been confirmed it's going to be Sarcosuchus. Mm. And another one that's going to come out is Tarbosaurus, which is basically the Asian T-Rex.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting. More Tyrannosaurs to play with.
Yeah, I bet Jay's looking forward to that one as well. It's great. I still haven't been able to get my hands on that original Carnotaurus, but the fact, here we might be getting a bigger one in the same vein as like the Fresh and Fro T-Rex or something, where it's more you move its tail. I guess got lift up the tail and it roars, and sort of more articulation in that as well, which I'm very excited to hear about.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it goes from the new lineup that we have, besides the Cryolophosaurus, the Alioramus, and the Ammontosaurus, now includes Tarbosaurus and Sarcosuchus with the new prehistoric species that we're going to have. So that's exciting. I'm really excited for Sarcosuchus and Tarbosaurus. Mm. There's a Tarbosaurus at the Field Museum, and so that will be exciting because that was like the childhood Tyrannosaur that I always got to enjoy when I was a kid at the museum before Sue came along
and completely took your gaze in amazement. Yeah, it looks like they're continuing to